Monday. We had a beautiful hike today alongside the river, and we saw millions of mushrooms. There's all kinds, purple ones and lots of light ones, and maybe even a bit of a magic one too. Hey, Norma Jean?
At this point, I believe that any and everything that comes when it comes from the ground is just going to be magical. So, but yeah, there was a few of them that we looked at, and you could just tell it was one of those. That's a magic carpet ride right there on that one. I can just tell you just by looking at
it. Yeah. So welcome everyone. Welcome everyone live over watching us on Instagram. Welcome. We're also on YouTube, Rumble, and Facebook. So we appreciate all of you coming on. Don't forget to like and share if it resonates. Today, we wanted to chat a little bit about the energy shifts we've been feeling. Everyone is going to have a bit of their own experience, as unique as your thumbprint is your heart. If you listen to the heart, what they call the heartbeat, it's like a unique thumbprint, right? So it's as unique as you are. So your experience is always going to be different based on your upbringing, your beliefs, your experiences in life. And so here at Adventures for Connection, we have no judgment, but we also are here. Our mission is to guide you to yourself, to figure out who you are, your authenticity. Now, spirituality has taken quite the ride, so to speak, and is full of all kinds of highways and blocks. And we're just really finding that it's more about the authenticity of who you are, and to have someone to hold space for you and guide you through that. And it's almost as if, if everything's a mirror reflecting for us, we take and reflect, and then based on our experiences or the information that comes into us, we're both downloading like crazy right now, especially Norma Jean, and traveling energetically, the universe within us. And so these eyes are projectors. Now, if we've lost you already, don't worry, it's okay. We're still here to guide and share our experiences with you, and it may spark something within you to want to know more. And so, yeah, Norma Jean, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, it's it's almost like when you get to that space and place of understanding that this place that what we're experiencing ultimately is a journey. That when you understand the point of the compass, that's the center, and then you draw your boundary by that. That for the longest time we were drawing boundaries for ourselves, and to a level of degree we needed to do that so that way we didn't get to we didn't travel too far away from our center and lose a lot of ultimately the authenticity of who we really are in this. Yet we did in some manner, in some way, given the things that have taken place over time. And it's in what the beauty about it is now is the most profound part of it is that journeying back. That it's almost like you did leave those breadcrumbs behind for yourself to guide you in ways that you would never think possible. Yet the heart knows. The heart knows those little nuggets and those little pieces, those little cards, those little symbols, those words, those vibratory frequencies or states of what the ears hear for us. That it's about getting back to that authentic blueprint of the soul, the spirit, however it is you want to define it, in its originality. That that's the beauty of the journey, is getting so far out, or getting so far off track, to understand that the only place we got off track was within ourselves. And that journey, that beautiful, beautiful journey we speak about every time we come on here, is that journey of the cosmos, the world, the vessel, the form in which we are having this experience through. So yeah, the authenticity is it. It takes a lot of courage to step forward and say, what I've been doing is just not working for me. It's not working for me. So it's like, at a certain point, as I did, was how do I do this differently? And when we come to that space and place to be able to ask ourselves those very fundamental and profound, most important questions about who we are in this, that's when the heart perks up and it's like, here we go. It's time. Be prepared because this is going to be a ride of a lifetime. And so it's like the more and more I'm able to tap into and be given and receive those parts of those pieces that I feel that I'm not missing. I'm just coming across or coming to that space and place of this is that divine timing. That's where the divine timing comes in, is where you're provided with that piece that you knew you needed just to be able to put in that particular place, puzzle, whatever it may be. But once it goes in, man, let me tell you, it's like boom. So
And it's funny because all summer we felt like we were in a little bit of a hold pattern. Actually, since January, let's be serious. And even before that a bit, it's felt like a really big, like, somebody's pulling on the back of my shirt like that. You ain't going anywhere right now. Right? You can play a little bit, but it's not, it's too early. It's too early. Not yet. Not yet. And so then to be able to feel, so absolutely always I like to go by how do I feel? And it felt those past couple weeks like a huge weight was lifted that I didn't even know I was carrying. Like you took the backpack off from a really big hike and you just went, oh, I was carrying all that weight. And so that in itself is really profound and really beautiful to just feel that. I do see my acupressurist, and she does my body, and I go once a week, once every 2 weeks, and I didn't go for a few months. And so I've seen her pretty consistently the last few weeks, and it's quite profound when she's like, "What have you done? How are you hiding?" And I'm like, "Hiding what?" She goes, "Your heart rate's way down." And she's known me for a couple of years. I was like, "Oh, cool. That means I'm able to embody more, right? And get out of that." And it wasn't like I wasn't trying, like I've always been able to regulate my heart rate somewhat, but it's profoundly slower to the point where she was like looking at me all questioning, like, "What are you doing?" So that for me is those physical, how do I feel? And then I get a confirmation. And we've been getting confirmations left, right, and center in our circles of conversation. We're also literally, it's like little lightning zaps of information, and it's like ding, 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 and it's like the bell gate's getting rung at the top.
yep.
I don't know how else to describe it. So we'd love to know. We know, and if we can just take a really deep breath and a moment for all those in the southeast USA that have been affected by these storms, that have been displaced and maybe even transitioned. And I have so much compassion and love for all of humanity. All of humanity. And I trust, and from the reports I've been getting in, people are helping people. It stopped division, right? So it's got people more connected and supporting each other and being kind, which means, you're willing to go out of your way to help someone else. That's huge.
Kindred.
Yeah. And given the way we've witnessed nature this past few months, I even predicted a little shake we had here. I messaged Norman and said, just want on voice record for the record. We're gonna have a shake. I don't know if we'll feel it, but there's gonna be a shake. And it was like within 24 hours. So it's like, huh, interesting. So this is not the end, nor is it the beginning. It's eternal. It's always gone on this way. Earth has always evolved. We are always evolving. We don't give up. You can't give up. We keep going. And so when we can be kind and reach out and help others, that's really profound. And so can you do that in a small way each day? Can you just take a moment and give someone a smile or a compliment? For that little pebble going in, ding, sends out a huge ripple. And energetically, that's a big shift. So we're praying everyone's safe. We're especially those with family that don't know where they are. And I've had a few conversations around that. They don't know where their family is. They haven't heard from them. They don't know if they're okay. Well, there's a lot of power outages. So keep holding in your heart that love. You want to add to that, Norma?
Yeah, of course, having being that I'm from the East, and I'm
Yeah.
from Georgia, I have family that's out there myself, and um, you know, I know that they're safe. I know they're okay. Other than just a few trees that have fallen in the woods, and then a few of them that kind of have been brought up out of the ground itself. That that this is just one of those times that where you know us as a collective, when we're doing these massive shifts, Earth is this is kind of Earth's way of saying, okay, it's time for that clearing. It's time for that cleansing to,
Yeah.
and it's just a part of what takes place. It's just a cleansing, a clearing. And as far as when we're in those places where we have family, and until we can hear from them, and have that confirmation that they are okay,
Yeah.
all we can do is just be in our heart and just allow that heart to be what tells us that, they're okay until we find out otherwise. I know that they have done what they needed to prepare for what they knew was coming. And
Yeah.
it's one of those, it's having, allowing the heart, whether, even though we know that it's coming, it's also being in the heart and saying, I provide guidance through the love of the heart that I have that beats within me, that my family and my friends and my colleagues know how to have that ability to use that natural state of common sense to do what they need to take care of themselves, to ensure that they're out of harm's way. And when we put forth that love, it's one of those that where there's more than one gathered in my name,
Yeah.
where there's more than one. And even if I'm that one, or if T's that one, or you're that one, when we come together and it's all from the heart, you'll be amazed at how much that alone, that energy alone, provides the safety and the security to ensure that any and everyone that's in the path of what's defined as destruction, clearing, cleansing, that they are safe. They will be safe and they will be provided with what they need.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I did pull a few cards on the current, and we've got the Two of Pentacles in that balancing, also an infinity symbol, and remembering that we're constantly going. But look at the water behind there. Look at the boats on the water, right? There's so much water, not only within us, but on earth, and it's shifting. And then we get the judgment card. It's not about judgment of self, it's about letting go of the judgment and realizing we all want the exact same thing. And then we're on the water here as well. We're going to come out of our boxes and we're going to realize that we would listen to the trumpet. We create our reality. We choose how we're going to show up. And then we get the Ace of Pentacles. New beginnings. We don't know how this is going to happen, but look, there's a hand coming out of the cloud. Yeah. So a little bit of trust, faith that no matter what goes on, we're going to be okay. Yeah. We are all connected together. We're all connected consciously, and we all affect each other. So be kind. These are my words for you right now, is be kind to yourself and to others. Norma, can we chat a little bit about the feeling of the front runner and energetically?
Wow. being where for myself, I can express that for
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
I know at this period in time, given where I was to where I am, there was ones before me that paved the way, that cleared the way for me to be where I am right here in this here now time space in this position, talking to each of you. And what that means is in front running, all that says is I know who I am. I'm becoming more authentic in being shown that more of the authentic blueprint of who I am by understanding my position, my role, my stance of who I am in all this, then understanding how that relates to the collective as a whole. Because when I know more about who I am and I have that clarity of mind because I'm being led by the heart to understand how this experience, this journey for myself is revealing itself to me, I
Yeah.
raise my frequency. I raise my vibration because my heart is expanding in that understanding because it's not as much as they say you have a heartbeat as it is that you have a heart vortex. And the more you allow yourself to go with the flow of what you're being shown in those images and how you feel with that vortex is going to expand and open up. And it's going to give you so much more. And it's not going to give you more than you can handle, but it's going to give you so much more of that clarifying understanding that I am a part of all this. I have been a part of all this. And it is vitally important for me to understand how I feel about me does affect everyone else because I'm not separate.
Yeah.
And through that heart expansion, through that that beautiful flow, it's been like my whole being is breathing with what is taking place, what is transpiring, knowing that as I raise my frequency because my vortex is open, then I know that is you could almost say it's like how they have the levels of where someone is like the level of love is 500 on the kinesiology scale, but that avatar level is at 1,000. So it's like what you got to understand is that it's not something that you hold that avatar frequency for the rest of your life. What it means is you fluctuate between where you are, where that heart is expansion, and you're in the heart of something, and you're just being it. You're just letting your heart just expand and show you the love that you are, that expresses for you, that that love is going to emit and it's going to assist in the way that the collective shifts in itself because you've put that energy out there. But when you get to that place, it's almost like if for me, it's an euphoric that it's so, I just feel like I'm so light. I'm so full. I'm whole to a level and degree for however long it lasts in that avataric level of understanding of myself and the gift of being here and being a part of what's taking place and in that transpiring, this transitioning, this evolutional period of knowing that this is just a part of the cycles that us as humanity goes through. And through that, in order for us to recognize and remember who we are in all this, to know the most empowering part of this is that you are a co-creator.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to ask anyone who'd like to share what's been going on for them physically as well. And that's a beautiful share, Norma. Thank you. There's this huge expansion going on. And so there's some of us, and this is all, and a lot of it's energetically as well. So Norma's talking more on the physical, but she also knows about the energetic level, so to speak. And so, and let me just explain this again for context for those that may have not seen this before. It is my belief based on what I've learned and where I'm at that our soul is like an umbrella over us, and we don't have past lives, we have timelines based on frequencies. So you're plugged into many as a soul, this is one of your experiences, just one. A deja vu is when you get close to another one, or you've actually repeated something that you've done before that it's like, oh, I've done this, but I don't remember doing it, right? Things like that. Or you might, have a huge, we call them downloads or realization. And these are all things that as we go through this, you're going to find you have them more and more because you're embodying more into this avatar. So this is the first time in this avatar we've had this opportunity to become into a light body. And as we go into this light body, you're going to feel lighter. You're going to have to purge a lot first. Most of us. So you're purging not just for you, but for the lineage that's in your DNA that you're connected to, that you came in as a front runner, so to speak, as a circuit breaker to break the cycle of whatever was going on. And Norm and I were chatting the other day about how much military was in both of our fathers' lives and our grandfathers. So it's these anomalies, we can call them that, or these synchronicities that you slowly start to go, oh, that makes so much sense. And yeah, that really resonates. And so the more you realize that only a small part of you is here, you want to start embodying more and more and more because and you all are, it's going to expand your gifts more. You're going to know more truth. You're going to find it easier to access, whether it be memories that need clearing or gifts that you have. Yeah. So I would absolutely, go easy on yourself. It's like it is a bit of a roller coaster ride, riding this roller coaster emotionally, mentally, and physically as we go through it. But it is such a gift to be here at this time. And once one can become that observer from a soul level and start going, okay, I see why this is going on. Even for the collective, it lets us relax more and go, it's part of the process. It's not easy to be the observer of some of it, but I can also choose what I'm willing to observe, especially around the news and the political shows. Not even worth my time. I actually my radio turned on after the hike and we got in the car and there was a Canadian astronaut on and both Norm and I burst out laughing. I'm like, yeah, no, I can't even listen to this. I listened to a couple of minutes. I was like, yeah, no, we're okay. I'm like, I didn't even know we had Canadian airspace. I've never paid attention to it. Or whatever they want to call it, right? So we all have our own opinions about that too. So yeah, we got a few people sharing on Rumble. Stomach aches have become normal and I keep rolling. Yes. Yeah, I used to have a stomach of steel. Mm. As you go through this cleansing and clearing, you're going to find it'll pass. This is your stomach going, we don't like this, or right? It's trying to get your attention. So ask what your stomach would like to know. Yeah. Yeah, and Earth Biscuit, of course, Shay. My body has vibrated too much, some much. I thought the earth was quaking. The chair and bed moves with my vibration. This is an activation. I'm so connected to this land. Yeah, you are. Absolutely. You are there for a reason. We have to remember we're all in place where we are for a reason. Norma, would you like to add to that?
When we begin to feel what is defined as physical ailments, these are, especially with the energies of the way that they are, it's these energies affect each one of us differently given what our cultural background or ethnical background is concerned.
Yeah.
And when we're feeling it, the body is just alchemizing, or it's doing what it can to adjust to what's taking place as far as where the energy is concerned, given where you are in your understanding of yourself and how that frequency and that vibratory state is affecting you. Because what happens is, one thing I come to figure out and find out was, the more and more information that I came into and the clarity of who I am in the world that I play in this, there were times that my body was so tense, it seemed, but it wasn't that it was tense. It was that my body is having to adjust to those frequencies that my heart is bringing forth for this avatar to embody the knowledge of self and my role in this journey. So just as I'm sitting here and I'm looking at Sherry's comment about I wake at 3 a.m. almost every night. Most nights I never get back to sleep. And these are the energies that's taking place, because what's happening is at 3 a.m., I think it's between 3 and 6 for the most part. For some, it can be between 2 and 4, 2 and 5. A lot of what is happening that I've come to understand is that this is when the body is being moved, because the energy that's at the bottom of your coccyx, which is where the kundalini, so to speak, sits. And whenever you're waking at these periods in time, then what's happening is that fluid is moving throughout your spine, and it's a little more active than what you're used to it being, because of the energy shifts. Because regardless if you're aware or not, with these energies, because of the front runners that T has been talking about, the ones of us that are at that place of just frequency and vibratory state, not because I'm better, not because I know more. It's just that what I'm doing is I am integrating more of who I am in this, and I'm shedding all these other facades and masks and the ones that step forward with me, because of this lineage, because of this line that I am representative of. What it means is that because of that, what we're doing is as we shift in that and we bring that vibratory and that frequency state up, it affects the ones that are within that vicinity, if not further. And then because you have more and more of us that are hitting those levels, it's affecting more of you. And so what's happening is your body is only doing what it needs to adjust to these new frequencies, regardless of what else is going on out here. Because you see, we are connected through the heart, not the mind. We're connected through the heart, because the heart is the vortex. And that is the one thing that you can always count on, that is always going to be what brings that kindred spirit to us all. So on that heart, what happens is we're affecting each other through those vibratory frequencies, the raising of it in our understanding, to affect the rest of you, to help you to get through this storm, so to speak, of energies that are raising your vibration and frequency, because we're doing it with earth, because the heart is earth.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. The heart is earth. Tina over on Instagram, I'm going to get around to all the questions. Yeah, that's beautifully said. And no, we're not, I said front runner. All that means is we're making it easier for you guys. Come on. It doesn't mean we're winning. In
We're doing it
fact,
for the collective, not for ourselves. This is for y'all.
right? Exactly. Tina, who I know, lovely to see you over on Instagram. Definitely has some autoimmunes. I've had weeks of waking up at 3 or shortly thereafter and unable to fall back asleep, yet energy levels are good and having less pain. Absolutely. So we're all healing, and it may feel uncomfortable at first, but your body is your team's working at night to assist you, your guides, your higher self, whatever you'd like to call it, the energies, earth, is assisting you in purging what needs to be purged so that you can step into your highest timeline, highest vibration, so that you can have the best life possible. And Andrea's on Facebook is saying, physically, my ears and eyes must be shifting. My ears have been painful and my eyes burn. Absolutely. Definitely an upgrade. And also, there's something I saw recently that I thought was quite profound for all of those with any eye issues. One, it's good to get off the screen. And you can also do exercises where you look up and down, and then you look side to side, you look angle this way. And so have a look for some of those. They may help, but my biggest go-to if my eyes hurt at all is to go close them, let them rest. And you can do those eye movements also behind your closed eyes. And it just stretches them out and takes that strain away too. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And Cindy, mm, I felt like the abusive man I left 3 years ago was energetically in my apartment. I asked my tarot cards where he was, and they said he'd given up the fight and passed. I did some research and found his obituary passed April 9th, 2004. Yes, sounds like he was visiting you. And maybe he has something kind to share with you now that he's on the other side.
Mm.
Who knows? Yeah. Excellent though. Good detective work, girl. Yeah, follow your feelings, follow your intuition. Yeah, and you know, I've cried twice for that's great. You're releasing things. Remember, we're meant to cry. We wouldn't have tear ducts if we weren't. And
It's never
so
not.
it can be a good emotional release, right? It's a positive thing. So we all have this. No, you don't need to. Yeah,
Yeah,
people
and
stuff
it's never
many
not
things.
for a reason. It's always for a reason. Always.
Yeah,
It's how aware are you in what that reason is. I'm not saying that you have to be. It's just how aware are you for that reason. The body is like earth. Where there is pressure, there must be release. Whether it be crying, farting, drainage of the nose,
burping,
whatever it may be.
belching.
Whatever it may be, it's the body's way of adjusting to the new energetics that are in this, in this shift, in this change. So it's like, whether you're aware of it or not, you're shifting that. Okay, and rather, and sometimes it could be that you're shifting another timeline that somehow, some way, even if it's subconsciously, you've done something about or has been taken care of, and it's gone, and it's no longer. That you got to understand that you're a multiplistic being right now. So you're gonna feel a lot of emotions that you're gonna be like, where does that come from? Sometimes it's not even always about what the collective is going through. Sometimes it's about, what am I clearing that I might not be aware of?
Yeah.
That is in my line. So you got to understand what's taking place right now is a great shift. It's a great shift in so many ways, as far as energy, your perspective, all that. So, as we go along this, it's so vitally important, because T puts it there every time she comes on here. Be an observer, not a judge. Not enough money in it. You make so much more money being an observer, because think about it. When you come up and you judge something that you're feeling and you're seeing or you're being, it's like you put yourself in front of yourself and you expect that something's going to change just because you're sitting there judging what you've chosen or what your action has given you, and you walk away feeling the way you feel. Guilt, shame, things like this are more of the program and conditioning than anything else. And when we allow that to be something that puts us in front of ourselves, and it's like, think about it as almost like you're this giant parent that's hovering over yourself when you make that judgment, and that makes you feel small. And you're never small. You're not small. By no means are you small.
Way bigger, you realize.
Because if your heart is the earth and the earth is the heart, you allow yourself that if you're in that position, instead of judging, observe and go, wow. Observe from where you are. You're older now. You've given yourself a next chance and opportunities to have enough experiences to see something differently. And just observe if you're allowing something to come through you that took place 2 hours ago, 2 days ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 years ago. Observe it.
And be
Observe it from where you are.
curious. Be
Yeah.
curious about it.
Let it play
Oh,
itself out to you differently because your eyes are different. Your heart's different. You're different.
your body never stops moving. All of your cells are constantly moving, constantly shifting. And so, uh, quite personally, any purge, I'm grateful for. We're moving energy, emotions, energy in motion. Don't attach to things, guys. Remember that. I also want to comment, and that was beautifully put, Norma, in regards to your thoughts. Thoughts are not facts. Thoughts are not facts. They come and they go, just like emotions, just like waves in an ocean. And remembering that, I was chatting with Jade yesterday, my daughter, and she was like, "Oh, my brain, it just these thoughts sometimes." I'm like, "Jade, flick it away. Thoughts are not facts." And so just these little tools can make such a difference. Or you're watching the clouds go by and you're really just observing your thoughts and not attaching to them. Because as soon as you attach to them, you give them energy. As soon as you give them energy, you're pulling it into your reality, so to speak. So we definitely don't want to be doing that. Yeah. Shay's saying, I didn't sleep from 5 a.m. Friday until Saturday, 10 p.m. That's a pretty big upgrade, girl.
I
And
did
I
that.
love this. Tears are the windshield washers for the soul. Beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. And Imad says, so grateful to be alive now during this time, a great change and great awakening, even more thankful to have connections with enlightened beings. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And Cindy, see, you can let go. There's a lot of letting go right now. Oh, that doesn't even like trigger me anymore. It doesn't even bother me anymore. It just is not going to give up my energy. Remember, your energy is your currency. Your energy is your currency. Be very conscientious about how you're spending it. Yeah. To be trading it for a piece of paper sometimes just blows my mind. But we've all agreed to utilize this paper and use it as commerce in order to get the things that we need. It's quite profound. But I'm very excited to create new ways, new opportunities for us, ways of exchanging energy in a really kind and loving way. Yeah. I'm very excited about that. I don't know how yet, but I can feel it. I can sense it, just like I can feel how things will be once there's a little more shifting going on. But I can live in it now because I can be there. We were out in nature today. It was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. So many little dogs, so much joy to everybody's happy. They're outside. Go lap up some of that joy. And when did you say we were in orc? We were around orcs?
Yeah. Orc land or orc territory, something like that. Yeah. Because we was
Yeah.
in the fairies, man. They were just like, wow. Just the energy of it, and that's the fun part. And as we got more into, a little deeper into our walk, it went from that to orc. The orc is what I was getting, and that's where a lot of the mushrooms that we were coming across was at. So it's it's I don't know how to express it. Just what I'm given and what I pick up on, because I've just come to the point. It's just I've come to the position that as long as I remain centered, whatever the information is that I receive, I'm like, okay, cool. I just speak to it if it's something I feel that I need to speak to. If not, then I just allow it to be what it is, because this is my experience. And if there's orcs, cool. There's orcs, awesome. Show me what else that I may be limited to understanding what my experience may be, because now it's at a point where it's like every time I step outside, I bring my imagination with me, because it shows me that regardless of how this is or how this goes, as long as I have my imagination and my heart is open and it's just coming through, Man, I see things in the sky all the time. I see things in the trees all the time. And I'm like, this is cool. I mean, if this is what my experience is going to be from here on out, bring it, because this is fun. This is, just like I was telling you the other day, seeing things in the sky, and I have been. And I spoke to the sky. I told, and these images that were coming at me could be a little overwhelming for the senses, because I'm creating this reality that I'm having. But for the human form, it's like, whoa, whoa, and this big face, literal face in the sky. And I was like, okay, you want to back off a little bit, but I won't reject you, I won't deny you, but at least if you've come at me and you want to show me that you're there, at least have a smile on your face, because at least you're a little more approachable, because I feel like, you're a big energy. You're just showing me how big I am, but you got to understand, in this human form, there are going to be times you're going to feel about this big because you seem like such a big giant. So, it's like I'm just having fun, because I don't limit myself to beliefs or definements or the labelings that I used to utilize in this experience as I was growing, in my younger years. That I'm so free and just having this experience, and know that it's just going to flow. And it may even surprise me sometimes. Whoa, okay, I didn't know I could do that, but that's pretty cool. Let's keep going. Let's see what else I can do here. That's the part of this. There's a reason why now I just don't judge anything I observe. Now, I allow those, in that observation, I allow it just to show itself to me, because that tells me that I'm not limited any longer to the programs, to the conditionings, to a society that, still struggles to a level and degree to recognize and realize that we're so much more than we are, than what they were saying this is the way to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Good share. I'm just curious, is everyone else hearing Norma cut out a little bit? Like she's being your sound was going out a little bit. I'm just curious if it's just a household thing or if it's running gamut. Nobody's saying anything, so I'm just gonna have to trust. Yeah. Andrea, I found out that I'm a feeler and a seer. I feel when someone is going to text me, so it doesn't surprise me anymore, and I can see orbs and stuff now. It's really cool. Gratitude for that, right? Gratitude for that. Absolutely. Yeah.
Stay aware, because all you're going to do is expand from there in your capabilities of whatever it is that you're experiencing. Whenever I first met T, and after she came in June and we had the ceremony that we had, before that, I was seeing spirals. I was seeing spirals in the trees, in nature.
Yeah.
Now it's not as much spirals as it is that I'm seeing that the trees are showing me that it's my projection. The trees are the manifestation to a level and degree what creates my projection, because I know for myself, because I've become person-centered oriented, which is the center, the heart, that the only thing that I can work with is what's in my immediate environment. That's it, to a certain point. And I know whatever's in my environment, I know what's going on, what's in it, what I can utilize, things like that, because now I'm not going all the way out to a cosmos, so to speak, out here, trying to understand a place of a sun called Aldebaran. Now I'm beginning to understand it, because it first exists within me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hello, Ada. How are you? No, it sounds like you're good. So
Cool.
all good in the hood. A few little troubles over on Instagram, but that's okay. I think it depends. I do think it's just part of the energies right now that some of us will be receiving different frequencies. And Norma Jean's been creating different energies within the house through her drawing creations.
I have.
Yeah,
A lot.
absolutely.
A
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, absolutely beautiful. Yes, Kreba says, my imagination is my best friend at night when at work. Absolutely. Play with it.
Oh yeah.
Freedom Liberty saying I saw an arc of color over her. Everyone else is saying 5 by 5, so we're good. Yeah. It was for Norma. Yeah, not fading in and out, just Norma's volume, guys. It's okay. See? Freedom, we keep telling you, you got a gift and you just don't realize it. Did y'all see the arc of color over Norma? There was something on our live the other day. She's like, you guys didn't see that? It was really big. And I was like, no, it's for you. This is one of your gifts. So keep going. Yeah, absolutely. Keep going. You guys are all doing fantastic. And don't be afraid to reach out. So what do we think's coming next? Nobody knows for fact. I'll say that first. Keep feeling what you need to feel. And just having that bit more of the quiet time with self so you can see what drops in for you and maybe what angles come in for you. I keep getting this sort of thing around this tuning into the frequency, which is actually an angle of light from source, so to speak, right? That's what angels are. They're angles of lights. And so we could do a whole program just on that. Okay. This stuff's coming in as I'm sitting here talking. Okay. We're here. We're present right now. So we'd love to hear if you have any questions for us. If you have anything else you'd like to share with us around this. I went and long story. I see somebody that puts a brace on one of my toes because my nail wants to curl like this. So she puts these titanium braces on, and she does this medically. So but I've known her for 12 years and I haven't seen her for a bit because, it was summer and I was like, yeah, braces just, the last one fell off and I went, yeah, whatever. I'm in the sand anyway, right? I'm at the beach anyway. So when I went in and saw her, she's had an autoimmune and she got off her prednisone, 6 years on this stuff. And I was like, yeah, good for you. So she's having to take she's taking a leave and something else, Advil or something. And I'm like, well, it's better than prednisone. Yeah, but I keep thinking they're missing something. But it's interesting because we were talking about that intuition part and that messaging. And she's like, yeah, I have people coming in and like, I had one guy come in, young guy, comes and sees me all the time, but I knew what was wrong. I knew he'd broken up with his girlfriend and he burst out in tears and then like spilled all the beans, so to speak. And I was like, that's because he feels safe with you. People don't realize the gifts that they have until I start talking with them. And she's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense too. And so, in having these conversations, I'm getting lots of confirmations right now. Having these conversations is really beautiful because it's like you getting out there and connecting with your community or community. Even if you're triggered, it's still a gift because it's going to reflect something for you to look at or question. And I get to have these conversations with people that, she's not super spiritual. She sees me on Instagram once in a while, but she's not. But, I just keep pointing it out to her and I'm like, yeah, you've got this. Right. And so she's healing herself, just like another friend over there on Instagram with autoimmune. You're healing. Everybody's going to be healing. It may not feel comfortable at first, but you are healing. And I remind you again that your voice, your frequency will assist you. Your name being said out loud. Say it again.
Well, it's about the understanding that that Instagram that you sent me about the guy working with the tongue. The tongue is
Yeah.
connected to the heart, y'all. Everyone, get rid of the word, y'all. The heart is connected to the tongue. Let that really sink in, and then we'll go a little deeper into it on another program. Just understand, the tongue is connected to the heart. So, are you there? I see you.
Okay, good.
You did freeze. And I
I
see
I
you like,
yeah, I'm like, "Okay." Well, because you were frozen, I was like, "Oh, interesting."
oh,
Okay.
interesting. Because I wasn't froze, you were.
Right? No, right? Maybe it's because uh I got too many live streams going on at the same time.
Maybe.
Who knows? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Image over on Rumble says, "When I make up my mind to think thoughts of love, peace, and harmony, things are exciting and fun." Absolutely. Shay's saying dandelion root and leaf for autoimmune. Thank you for sharing that.
Hmm.
You can get it in tincture, you can get it in tea. There's even something called Dandy Blend. Now, I'm not sure how much of medicinal that continues to be because I think it's been roasted, but dandelion tea, some people really live on it. Yeah. And Love's Color says, I was put on prednisone for years and went off it and started taking 6,000 units of vitamin D and black cumin seed, and I'm healed. Again, that's 6,000. So more than you think you need for vitamin D and black cumin seed, which is an oil. And yeah, she no longer, yeah, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, you guys. I love how much you share. Yeah, yeah. Sunlight and being in nature is so wonder filled. Absolutely. Um, Freedom's asking about tongue and heart. What were you saying about the tongue and the heart again? So you're gonna have to repeat that.
Oh, okay. Um, the tongue is connected to the heart. The tongue is connected to the heart. So this is where I will at least express this much. Spell casting. This is where you hear about you're casting spells upon yourself. Okay. So when we come to understand that the tongue is connected to the heart, then you begin to understand that our senses are connected as well. How we hear, how we smell, how we see, how we feel. That there's so much to this that when you come to really recognize what the senses actually do, that the senses are ultimately what tells us what the truth of things are. Uh-oh.
I got kicked out.
I didn't know if I still needed to keep talking. You were gone. I was like, do
I
I
got
keep
kicked out.
going? Just the whole thing stopped. And I was like, well, I'll keep going.
Yeah, yeah, no worries, no worries. It's too funny. Well, maybe. Yeah, so over on Instagram, I'm just gonna continue. We get a story. While I was in Tennessee last month, I was getting vertigo and came home mid-August. Still away, ended up having, yeah, blood pressure, headache, eyes hurt, got an inner ear infection, and it's gone now. Yeah, normally I have low blood pressure. Yeah, so you know what? You're alchemizing. Everyone's alchemizing. And thank you. Dandelion root tea is good for the heart also. Beautiful.
Great. It, it,
Yeah.
it- I just want to express this so that
Yes,
I can
please.
express this. When we get out of this position in place of going to what we were taught on the medical side of things, let's let's begin to understand that, like I just said, the tongue is connected to the heart. So when we define something that's going on within our body, we are labeling it as something with our tongue. Okay. The mind doesn't know any different. And the mind is what tells our cells what to do. So it's like I hear that, oh, my heart rate's a little higher than I'm used to, or my heart rate has slowed down and I don't understand that. Is something wrong? Is something going on? You're just adjusting to the new energies. The body is just adjusting to the new energies because the cells are being affected and the cells are just doing what they're doing. Oh, what's going on? This is new. What's going on? And it's asking the mind, because it's where the mind or the brain is connected to the cells, and it's waiting for the brain to receive information to tell the cells, hey, this is what's going on, guys. We're just in a new party of this thing called a new roller coaster ride of what seems to be greater energies than what we've been in so long. And the cells go, oh, that's how I recognize that, because the cell has its own membrane. It has its own mail room, so to speak. It has its own way of taking in information, understanding information. It all works together. It's not separate. So that's the reason why we say whenever you speak, whether you're joking or not, if it's of a negative connotation, so to speak, or context or words, the mind doesn't know any different. So use your words wisely.
Yeah.
Know that, there's just so much to this. And, it's beautiful and it's profound. I just want y'all to know that when we can step away from this old programming that we for so long we're told is what we needed to utilize to be given those remedies to our ailments, so to speak. When all this time we were the remedy, we just didn't know. And now we're in that space and place where the information has come out so much that now you know. Now you know how big you are. Now you know how powerful you truly are. We just got to get through the programming.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are the aches and pains. They're like growing pains, purging pains.
Yep.
The more you attach to them, something's wrong with me, the more you're programming yourself again. So you guys have come, like, I'm always amazed at the bounce back, how quickly you're bouncing back, how quickly you're catching yourself. Oh, I got to change my wording around that. I caught it. We even catch each other sometimes. Oh, dang it. So there's nobody sitting over here going, I'm perfect. We are all in it. We are all in it with you. We're just all vibrating in different areas. And we're just so grateful to have you all, here with us so that we can, keep going through your purging pains. It can't be diagnosed by a doctor. They can try, but unless they're, one of those multifunctional doctors, they're not fully aware of what's going on. Yeah. Beautiful. What I'm feeling is these scattered energies, some grief, sadness, mostly anxiety, and I'm picking them up, sucking them in, and clearing them and anchoring in. And I'm back asking for more. Of course you are, little warrior. All right. Absolutely. Am I frozen again?
No, you're good.
Okay. It's been very rewarding taking this, yes, with your friend. Absolutely. Yeah, there's no rush. Somebody's taking a break from friends and coming back in is so normal. Absolutely.
It's all about the energy.
Yeah, absolutely. A celebration. Fliss bliss. I love it. Celebration. Every one of your cells should be dancing and singing. Yeah. Yeah. And Freedom says, I kept speaking to myself about letting go of excess weight. Now 48 pounds lighter. But I forgot to keep my boobs. They shrunk a cup size. You'll appreciate it on your smaller frame anyway, that they're, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Not losing weight. Let it go. Let it go. Yeah. And it's almost, what are you holding back on? And what were you waiting to what were you waiting to do? So you were like holding all this energy around something that was heavy for you, and you've let that go. Beautiful. Yeah, absolutely beautiful, you guys. We're going to let you guys go. It is 5 o'clock, and we like to honor your time. We appreciate you joining us. And Norma Jean, do you want to give some final parting words for everyone?
Have fun. Just keep having fun. Have fun getting to know who you are. I'm telling you, it's so explorative in ways that you never thought possible. But the more you allow yourself just to just be with whatever it is, you'll begin to understand the difference between programs and flow, and the heart showing you, because your feelings will tell you each time which one it is. Just like right quick, I come to understand that if you want to know where you are, close your eyes and ask yourself, what do you see? And your answer will tell you exactly where you're coming from. And it will be one of two places. You're either residing in your heart or you're in the mind in the program. And it all depends on what your answer is. And that means, and that states that, is it defined or is it not defined?
Beautiful. Yeah, play and have fun. On all of these platforms, except for LinkedIn, I have posted for October 6th at 9 a.m., which is a Sunday, and that's PT time, Vancouver. We discussed this on the last show about wanting to connect more with your guides, your higher self, about just trust your intuition more. And so I'm doing a free live Zoom call for that. And I forewarn you now, it's going to mean a bit of a meditation. For only when we get quiet, get rid of the distractions, can we begin to hear. There's so many stories about people, anyone who's been out in nature enough without devices, without pollution, starts to hear differently, starts to hear what the birds are saying, starts to connect with the trees and other animals. You become at one. And so, yeah, I'm going to encourage you on that. So if you got ants in your pants, we'll help you get them settled. And we'll bring you in. But that's a free meditation. You do need to sign up. And when you do sign up, you'll also get entered in the draw on our newsletter. It'll automatically sign you up for the newsletter, and you'll get put into a draw for October, which is tomorrow's last day. I can't remember what day it is, you guys. For September, end of September, video or draw for a free session with me. So you get a free session. Sherry had her last session. She was our winner for August, and she's in the comments here saying the meditation I gave her has been really helpful. She is healing. So I love hearing that. So, all right, you guys, sending you so much love. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your evening. And I'll be back on Wednesday. In the meantime, if you're not on our Telegram group, I'm going to post a bunch of pictures of mushrooms. Love you.